everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about 5 things from UNIQLO I recommend and 5 things to avoid. About a month ago, I filmed a UNIQLO review and you guys seem to really enjoy that one. So I'm kind of talking about some different pieces and following on from that review today. There's really not a lot of overlap, so if you haven't seen that video, I will have it linked down below. We've got some really lovely pieces today and some not so much, but there's a mix of casual wear and workwear, and I also found a few pieces from the men's collection I really liked, and I've purchased the men's and the women's equivalent. I'm kind of going to do a little comparison of that as well. I've noticed that sometimes in the men's collection, the material composition is actually a bit better, so I'll be kind of covering that in today's video. I am quite petite, so I'm 160 centimeters, 5'3", so keep that in mind as we go through the video in the styling and the try-on clips. Let's start on a positive note with one of my favorite pieces. This is kind of number 1 on my recommend list. We've got the cotton baggy pants. The main reason I recommend these pants is because I think the material and the quality is very good for the price, and it's probably one of the better quality trousers that I've spotted at UNIQLO. It's even down to the reinforcing kind of on the waistband, how it looks on the inside, the stitching, everything just looks like it's a very good quality piece. Second thing is the shape. If I wear these as they are, I haven't tailored these, I haven't rolled them, you can see that it hits pretty much full length for me. This is a little bit long for what I like. I tend to prefer my pants in this shape a little bit shorter, and that way it matches with more of my shoes. After this video today, I'm gonna bring these back to UNIQLO and get them to shorten the pant for me because they do that for free as long as you have the receipt and the tag still on. In the styling clips, I'm wearing this pant with the hem rolled up twice, so it creates a nice little cuff. I also don't mind this if you want the option of wearing it both full length and then more cropped. This has a high-rise fit, so I find it very flattering around the waist. So sizing. This runs extremely large. I'm usually a waist 26 in Levi jeans, and I've taken a size 24 for these pants. I often have to size down the UNIQLO pants. I'll link everything I'm talking about today in the description box down below, and below it I'll also put down my sizing as well as my sizing recommendation if you're interested in one of these pieces. I've currently got this like backlighting situation going on, so even if I hold up this pant, one layer of it is still very opaque. So you don't have to worry about the lighter colors of this pant being sheer, because it's not. For styling, because this is a cotton pant with some structure to it, I try to avoid anything too heavy on top. So I probably wouldn't wear as much with heavy sweaters or very kind of rigid pieces. I would tend to pair it with flowier blouses, maybe very lightweight knit or short sleeves, and even a long sleeve blouse if it wasn't too heavy. Let's move on now to some of the things that I don't recommend. Starting with these smart ankle pants. I gotta say, for the things I don't recommend, it's not always because they're like awful pieces that no one should be wearing. It's simply that compared to other UNIQLO things, I don't feel like they stand out as much in terms of either quality or fit. If one of these pieces I'm not recommending is working out for you, let us know, because I am always willing to give things another shot. These smart ankle pants are actually very flattering. So they're a really ideal work pant because they come with a nice slim shape, it looks very tailored, it's got that beautiful crease at the front. Everything about this pant looks very, very chic and very professional for an everyday work pant. The thing I don't like about this is definitely the polyester blend. Now, I have a pair of pants from UNIQLO. These are the wide leg trousers, and this is actually made from a very similar material, but these are wide-legged. So I feel like the fabric is not directly on my skin, and because it's wide-legged, you've got some like movement to it, so it feels more comfortable. Whereas because these smart ankle pants fit so closely, it does feel a little bit more suffocating to me compared to those. The fabric is a deal breaker here, but I actually love the way these pants look. Next items on my recommend list are these little rib crop tops. So I've got this one, which is a short sleeve rib top, and then I've got this one, which is one of their bra tank tops, which I talked about in my last video as well. So in my last video, I showed this in a corally red shade. I mentioned that I didn't think I was gonna get tons of wear from that shade, so I did go back and swap it out for a green instead. This is a really beautiful warm olive green, and I love it on my skin tone, but I also love the way it looks with other colors in my wardrobe. Whether it's as basic as this color warming up my blacks and my whites, or whether that's wearing it with colors like navy that I wear a lot in my wardrobe. I think it just warms my outfits up a little bit. I talked about it last time, so I'll keep it short, but these are great because they've got the bra cups on the inside. It makes it super easy to kind of wear a tank top and not have to worry about straps and what to wear inside. It's got this nice rib texture, which is nice because some Uniqlo t-shirts can be very smooth and very flat. I really love everything about the comfort and style of these. I would say the only thing to note is that they are very short. I think if you're much taller than me, then these will kind of start to show the midriff a little bit more. These are one of my favorite basic discoveries because I just think it's so easy to layer with this and not have to wear a bra inside. And even in the winter, I kind of love wearing inside cardigans for that first layering piece. This is another ribbed cropped piece. And this one is a short sleeve. So this one doesn't have the bra cups on the inside, but it's got pretty much the same look of fabric on the outside. This one's a cotton elastane top, so it's got a lot of stretch to it. The very cropped shape of this one means that I don't really have to tuck this in if I'm wearing it with jeans or with a skirt. It kind of hits me at that perfect length where I don't have to tuck it in. These cotton basics is where I feel like Uniqlo excels, and they just feel very comparable to rib tees that I can get probably more expensive at other shops. I got this in the extra small and it fits perfectly, so true to size. And then this one I went up a size because the extra small, the shoulder seam wasn't sitting in line with my shoulder, it was kind of pulling in. So I went up a size and it fits perfect. The next item I don't recommend is the cotton flared midi skirt. So quality wise, this is a cotton skirt. The lining is a poly cotton blend, but when you feel it in your hand, it does feel like very, very good quality. Something I like about this skirt, we're kind of getting through the likes first, is that it has a nice structure to it. If you like A-line structured skirts, I think you could really like this one. The skirt has these wonderful large pockets. I love that in a skirt, and this is not just for this skirt, but also for the cotton trousers I was showing earlier. I wanted to talk about this in my do not recommend because I don't find this shape to be super flattering, and I also find this shape a little bit harder to style. It kind of means on the top half I can only do like tank tops and little t-shirts, basically more fitted things to balance out that voluminous silhouette. Even if I was to put a jacket over the top, I find that the outfit can feel very bulky or unbalanced very quickly. Skirts at Uniqlo in general I feel like are not as updated as they could be, and skirts in general from Uniqlo I just don't really recommend. If you have a really good one, do let me know because I would love to try it on. Anything in today's video that I've said I don't recommend, I've kind of purchased for the video, but I'm gonna go back to the Uniqlo store to return them today. But anything I do recommend, I am keeping. Let's compare two flannel shirts. This one is from the men's collection and this one from the women's. The reason why I wanted to order both is because the men's one is made from 100% cotton. The women's one is made from 67% cotton, 19% acrylic and 14% viscose. So there's quite a difference, and I just wanted to see why and how the fabric felt compared to each other. When I put them down flat on top of each other to compare, what I find is that the women's and the men's in these sizes come at the same length through the body and then through the sleeve. There might be like a fraction of a difference, but more or less the same. I would say the women's one I feel like is designed to be a bit wider and more billowy, whereas the men's one is a little bit slimmer and straighter. If I look at the fabrics up close, the men's one has a tiny bit more fluff that I normally associate with flannel, and then the women's one has more defined kind of twill lines on the fabric. But again, very subtle, and you have to look up close to really notice these things. My original thoughts was that maybe they put a blend in the women's one because they wanted it to drape more. Because cotton usually doesn't drape that well, so adding a little bit of synthetic can create a better drape, maybe more heaviness in the fabric. But I'm not really seeing a big difference when I have it on the body between these two fabrics. When it comes to fabric, the men's one does win because if I can't see any reason for the synthetic to be used, then of course 100% cotton I feel like is preferable. It also really comes down to the fit and design of these pieces. So for the men's one, what I like is that it buttons all the way to the top. The women's one doesn't. Buttoning all the way to the top, for me, is about versatility. It means that I have the option, even if I just wear it open most of the time, I like having the option. Whereas the women's one only starts kind of a little bit lower. The men's one has a pocket on the chest, and it also feels like it has a straighter fit. The women's one doesn't have a pocket, and it has a more voluminous fit. For me personally, fabric and style-wise, I like the versatility of the men's, and I like the 100% cotton. So this is the one that I've decided to go for. I think it looks nicer. It's a little bit of a slimmer fit as well, and I think I quite like that in this shirt. I wanted to give UNIQLO striped t-shirts a try, and I've got two. This one's from the women's line. This one is in a size small. And I've also got a men's striped tee, and this one is in the extra small. Out of these two, I do prefer the women's one. I should not have sized up for this. I went to a small because years ago, I felt like this fit a little bit small. But that was 7 years ago, and now I feel like go true to size because it already comes a little bit oversized. It's also big on me because it's not my right size, but true to size I think would look much better. I like this one more because of the color. I think the brown and white looks really beautiful. It brings such a nice warmth to my whites and blacks and navies. It's also a more unique combination for a stripe. This one is longer. It is definitely a bit too long. So this one I don't like as much. But for what I recommend, I want to talk a bit more about this one. 100% cotton this time round, no elastane. It has a very boxy shape and then a slight split at the bottom. This t-shirt for me is very comparable and a very good dupe of the Cezanne stripes. I've owned one before and I feel like they are very comparable. Given the huge price difference and the fact that this is really lovely in quality anyway, I would say this is probably my pick over the Cezanne one because it's such a simple piece. These cotton pieces are just low maintenance. They will wash really well, they will last, and I had one 7 years ago. The only reason I let it go was because I felt like it fit a little bit too tight through the shoulders, but I did wear that thing a lot. This is again a don't recommend piece. This is the rayon skipper collar 3/4 sleeve blouse. And obviously I've spoken a lot about fabric today, but actually the reason I don't recommend this is not even just because of fabric. The fabric is a viscose polyester blend, so synthetic. Immediately when I saw it on the hanger, it kind of reminded me of another UNIQLO top I once had, and I felt like that piece didn't wear well because of this issue. This top has kind of got this little piece on the inside, but it's not stitched down. So what happens for me is like the inside fabric starts to show through. So instead of sitting like this on the neck, very neat and clean, the inside piece is not stitched down. So you'll start to have it popping through. The moment you wash this and have to like re-iron it back into shape, I find that the neck never looks as neat as it does that first time. And to be honest, like pressing this down is not something I want to do every time I wear a piece like this. Something quite odd about this fabric is that while it's actually very soft to the hand, one of the pros of synthetics is that I don't have to iron it. And yet this one feels like it wrinkles really fast. I wore it for like 3 minutes while filming the clips, and I wore it for a very short while and it started to crease, which is quite weird for me. So I'm kind of doing another test where I'm just scrunching up the fabric slightly in my hand and it comes out extremely creased, more so than my other pieces would. If it's synthetic, I think the least I expect is that it will kind of look very beautiful and like not crease throughout the day. The final piece to recommend are these wide straight cargo pants. Kind of done a full circle and we're back to like cotton trousers. These are again 100% cotton. I have to stress again, like I did with the first pair, that it is a substantial cotton. It's not like super flimsy or thin, and because of that it's opaque. So feel free to go for the light colors and not just like the black and dark shades. Instead of wearing these pants full length, I would definitely prefer to have them cropped because I find it more flattering for this style. Fit wise, I've noticed that this one is slightly less high rise. I would say maybe it's more of a mid-rise, mid to high rise, but it is a little bit less so than the other pair. I kind of like my pants super high rise, so I wish this was a little bit higher, but that's okay. UNIQLO definitely tends to lean classic, so even though it's a cargo pant, they haven't gone like too crazy. There's just 2 pockets kind of on the leg and then one at the back. When I'm wearing the pant, I still feel like it's very timeless, very classic, even though I feel like the cargo pant had a moment this year and like last year. The main difference between this style and the first one I showed is that it is a slimmer pant, so it's not as wide and baggy through the leg. It tapers in a little bit, so I feel like it's overall just a slimmer looking style. This pair of pants I would recommend as long as you like a cargo trouser. If you like it, this is a really good pair. If you don't really like the cargo details, then I would definitely just go for the first pair because I think it looks a bit cleaner, and I slightly prefer the rise of that first pair. So this one I am not keeping because I can't justify having 2 pairs of cream cotton pants in my wardrobe. But I still wanted to include this in my recommend list because I think for the price, the quality of it is very good. I think that if you're looking for a cargo pant, you really can't go wrong with this style. Final piece for today's video, I'm talking about something that I was quite divided over. So these are the ultra stretch soft pants. I decided to include this as an item I'm not recommending, but I was divided. This is a poly viscose elastane blend, and I find that Uniqlo, if something has the word soft in the name, it's always going to be made from synthetics. This pant is very soft, very smooth, very stretchy, and it has all the makings of a very good comfy lounge pant. The fabric of this pant is so soft, I almost thought about keeping them, and I thought I would actually have a lot of fun dressing this pant up a little bit with different like jackets and tops I have. However, I kind of was examining the fabric, thinking about other things I've had in this fabric, and I just feel like this type of thing doesn't wear well. With what I'm saying about the fabric, it's because I own this little set from Skims. It's like a little tank top and short set, and the fabrics of these two feel very similar. Except, let me go up close and just show you how this one has worn. It's thinned out quite a lot, it's kind of pilling as well. The fabric composition of these two are quite similar, and to the hand, they actually feel very similar. Stretchy, synthetic, it's in this knit fabric, and I'm just worried that this will have the same fate as this. This is the kind of piece that I find very, very tempting at Uniqlo, where it feels soft and it looks comfortable, but I don't think it'll last, so this one is going back. That was my Uniqlo video for today. 5 things I recommend and 5 things I don't. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. If you enjoyed it, I would love for you to go check out my channel down below, subscribe and turn on notifications to see when I post. Have a lovely week ahead, and I'll see you next one. Bye.